Some players were just born for the brightest of spotlights. Where some tend to shy away, this special category of players gets the job done when it matters most. Dallas Mavericks 22-year-old superstar Luka Doncic is already among that prestigious group of GOAT candidates, just 11 games into his NBA postseason career. Obviously, Doncic has a long way to go before people start mentioning him in the same breath overall with all-time greats like LeBron James and Michael Jordan. He's well on his way to that sort of praise if he keeps going at his current pace and eventually adds some NBA championships to his resume. In what was the biggest game of his young career, Luka went on the road and put up 42 points, 14 assists, and 8 rebounds while shooting 46% from the field overall and 50% from 3. There are only 2 players in NBA history who have multiple playoff games with at least 40 points and 10 assists: LeBron, who has 4 games like this, and Luka, who has 2 games already. Furthermore, Luka registered the highest percentage of field goals either scored or assisted for a team during a playoff game in NBA history at 83.8%. The only 2 other players to ever eclipse 80% in that category are Allen Iverson and LeBron James. In just 3 seasons, Luka has established himself as one of the best players in the NBA. According to Patrick Beverley, the Dallas Mavericks star is also the hardest player in the league for him to guard. The Dallas Mavericks superstar is just in his 3rd year in the NBA, and analysts are already raving about him. They are all in agreement that Luka will be the next face of the league in the next few years. The Slovenian has it all with the Mavericks: talent, smarts, looks, the clutch gene, and a competitive spirit only special people possess. Many big players have spoken pretty well about him, including the great Mark Jackson. He went on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay podcast, and he had very high praise for Dallas Mavericks superstar Luka Doncic. Here, just take a look at the clip.
The young talent in the game today, when you look at the talent coming up, when you look at the way that they do a great job of developing in the G League, outstanding group of talented basketball players. The one guy that you named, to me, I think could very well be on the top 75 player list that comes out pretty soon. And people say, well, will there be a sleeper that's young? But Luka Doncic is the real deal. When you look at what he's been able to do early on in his career, he's got it.
You think he'll be top 75?
If it was me voting,
yeah,
he's on the list.
The NBA is announcing the top 75 players of all time soon, and Jackson believes that Luka should be on that list already. Jackson told Sharp on the podcast, quote, "If it was me voting, he's on that list." I mean, Luka's only 22 years old, but he's already a 2-time All-Star and has made the All-NBA first team the last 2 seasons. In 2019-20, he averaged 28.8 points, 9.4 rebounds, and 8.8 assists per game. Last season, he averaged 27.7 points, 8 rebounds, and 8.6 assists per game. The Mavericks have also made the playoffs in each of the last 2 seasons, with Luka putting up those incredible numbers. I mean, all the numbers are just direly saying that we finally have a new face in the NBA. Well, if you talk about Jackson, he played point guard for many teams over his career: Knicks, Pacers, Clippers, Jazz, Rockets, Nuggets, and the Raptors. He also helped lead the Pacers to the finals during the 2000 season, and he had 2 stints in Indiana during his career that lasted 17 seasons. And if a player like that is willing to say so much about Luka, you sure as hell know how big things are for the new star. Now, a question has been lingering in our minds: is this the time when fans and analysts start inserting Luka into the greatest of all time conversation? It's not as simple as it sounds. The likes of Michael Jordan, Kobe, and LeBron went through hell to be considered the greatest of their sport. Jordan literally took the NBA by storm right from the get-go with his high-flying dunks and scoring prowess. However, he had to endure several playoff heartbreaks before he won his first title. Though Kobe had won 3 titles by age 24, there was this pressure placed on him to be able to win a title without Shaquille O'Neal by his side. LeBron, for his part, was the most hyped basketball player on the planet. From day one, people expected him to be great. Props to him for proving why he's the chosen one, but it also took him several years to win a title. Luka has his own narrative. He was the 3rd overall pick in the 2018 NBA draft, but not a lot of American fans knew him. We can say that somehow this relative anonymity worked in his favor. Not a single soul expected him to be great. That's why everyone is raving about him like he's the greatest thing that's ever happened to basketball. However, the attention and hype seem to be catching up on him. But like the greats that came before the talented Slovenian, there's a high probability that Luka will get lambasted and slammed by fans and quote basketball experts if he lets time pass by without winning a title. Looking at Luka's game, there seems to be no glaring weaknesses in his offense. There's been a ton of comparisons already, Some see LeBron and Magic Johnson's basketball IQ in him. Some have even spotted Jordan or Kobe's intensity as well. Among all players compared to Luka, Larry Bird seems to be the closest one. Both of them essentially play the point forward position. What's astounding is they seem to lack the athleticism that most NBA players have, but still manage to slaughter their foes. However, if we look at Luka carefully, he seems to try to do everything for his team. This leads to a chunk of turnovers, some of which are pretty careless ones. He averaged 4.28 turnovers per game, which ranked second in the regular season, just behind Russell Westbrook. This might be a consequence of him being the main orchestrator of his squad, but he needs to iron this little crease in his game. But on defense, there's a lot to nitpick with Luka. He has shown some great improvement over the years without a doubt. He utilizes his big frame to post up situations. He has also developed a knack for using his quick hands and high IQ to deflect the ball en route to a steal. However, it isn't near the level of those in the GOAT conversation. For all the improvements Luka has made on defense, they haven't been good enough to get noticed or, more importantly, translate into wins for his team. The Mavericks had a 112.3 defensive rating in the regular season, which ranked 21st. While there have been statistics and clips which show Luka's much improved defense, the real hallmark of a great player is how he's able to influence his entire team to play better.
And it has been quite a couple of days for Luka Doncic.
So far, Luka has been lacking in this regard. We can't blame Luka for all of his shortcomings. He's done everything he can to bring the Mavericks back to playoff contention. But looking at their roster, it's evident that a lot of work still has to be done to make them a legitimate title contender. But props to the front office for pairing Luka with another star in Kristaps Porzingis. The rise of Tim Hardaway Jr. too has been a welcome sign. But there's still something lacking in the squad. Do they need more time together? Do they need more veterans who have been part of a championship team? Given what we know about the Slovenian, how many years until Luka enters the GOAT conversation? There's a popular belief that basketball players enter their prime somewhere in their mid to late 20s. Luka is just 22 years old, but he's been playing professional ball since he was 16. However, given the apparent holes in his game, we can never really say Luka is already in his prime or near it. There's no doubt he'll work on these liabilities, but the next question is, will the Mavericks organization follow suit? Assuming that we see the best version of Luka in the 4 or 5 years that we're waiting for, will the Mavericks surround him with the players he needs? Hence, I end my discussion here that Luka himself has proven his worth of being a GOAT candidate in the future, but it's not only him who has to keep on working towards it. Well guys, that's it for today's video. Let us know what you guys think about the future of Luka in the NBA in the comment section down below. We hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you guys next time.
5 for 6 from Pete for guys.